Oh, what is that? Tower. Suffocation.
You almost got us killed that one time, remember?
Now, we both know that was your fault.
Thank
Oh,
the
I
12
can
we're
see.
safe.
Mind your horns there,
Alright.
Manbull.
Well, let me get the review of A
when
Realm
you mind your
Reborn.
manners.
Since the credits are rolling. This has been
Though
a
the
really
crystal
interesting
that
game.
bound Thancred is no more,
Yeah, where does
I
it go
doubt
from
we
here?
can say the same of La Habrea. And even if we could,
Yeah.
we know that he is not
So,
alone.
We know there's still a
Confounded
darkness,
Ascians.
and this is just a great game.
Their
I liked
god
all
may
the
be unknown
dungeons.
to us.
I don't think it was
Their
too long.
zeal is
I think it was the
unquestionable.
perfect time. Perfect length.
Suffice it to say, it would
Lots
be
of fetch
folly
quests.
to assume that they no longer pose a threat.
Yeah, they probably do pose a threat. And they set up
Nevertheless,
the patches with there's still darkness to go out. The core of darkness, even though it looks light right now. So I'm excited to continue playing on, and probably the realm. There's probably the patches of A Realm Reborn afterwards. I'm excited to do raids. I'm excited to do anything before moving on to Heaven's
for
Sword.
now, we must savor what peace we have won, however ephemeral. Do you see, Grandfather? Our first step towards realizing the dream for which you
One thing
gave
I'll
your
say,
life.
that makes sense. There's so many crossing storylines, though. It was a little confusing at first. I think they put a lot of emphasis on Sid's backstory, but they kind of saved it till late. I kind of wish I had heard about Sid earlier than over halfway through Realm Reborn. But other than that, man, this has been an adventure. That was an exciting set of duties at the end. They were only 4-person duties, though. I would have wanted a full party, maybe an 8-person thing. But, when they were first developing this is probably before raids came out.
Friends,
And
the
even before
dread
full
night of
parties.
imperial tyranny and Ascian machination is ended. A
Oh, there you
new
go.
day now begins in Eorzea.
Waka Waka, there we go.
True to their name,
No more
the
Machina.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, along with our champion, have delivered us from darkness.
For the time being, right?
Let their shared victory serve to remind us of our shared history.
Yeah, like
And
don't
let
fight.
their bravery in the face of adversity inspire future generations.
Doubt not, the realm will need bravery in the days to come. Old
Little
rifts
twin
threaten
eyes.
to divide us within our walls,
We've redone
while
it.
hordes of beastmen claw at our gates.
Sure.
And though the Black Wolf be slain,
The Black Wolf be slain.
the rest of the pack remains.
The Black
Yet
Pearl.
no foe need we fear, so long as we stand as one.
That's a good point.
So long as the Scions stand for peace.
So long as our champion stands fast.
So
For
long as
there
we log in
exists
daily.
no adversity
There will be no
over which
adversity.
we may not jointly prevail.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No longer can we turn a blind eye to the suffering of our allies.
Alright, that's a good idea. I like the messages.
No nation stands alone.
It's pretty plain,
If one
to be
should
honest.
fall, so
know?
shall we all.
Stand up for your
Eorzea
teammates.
is our
your
shared
system.
home. For any one of us to know peace, so
You
too
know,
must
when
our
Waka
neighbor.
Brea said that Heidelin was the cause of the
Just as
suffering,
we join
I
in
kinda wanted to
solidarity
explore that
before you
concept
this
more.
day,
how does
so
Waka
too
Brea
shall our
think that
grand
Heidelin's,
companies be joined
a problem?
henceforth to strive not only for the good of mere nations, but for the good of all the realm.
Yeah,
Change will not come overnight.
probably
Yet I
right.
foresee a day,
What great
not
plan.
so very
That's a
far
really
from
good
now,
outfit.
when the lines that divide our lands fade, and all of Eorzea is
Is
one.
under one cryptocurrency. No, I mean...
It has been but 5 short years since the Battle of Cartano.
Although they all use
5
Gil,
years since
so-
the advent of the 7th Umbral Era.
And it's the 7th dawn.
No victory, however sweet, can wash away our bitter sorrows. No triumph can reclaim those we lost. Yet do not presume you honor them by dwelling on the past. It
I
was
do
not
like
the
the forward-looking
past
this,
they
though.
fought for. You would repay their sacrifice by looking to the future.
That's true.
Our
It's a hard
future
pill to swallow.
united, as the warriors of light united in the champion.
So who's that one in the
Now
back?
is the time for
Who's
us to
that?
rise as one,
Who's that in the
bearing
back? Like,
all
is that
of
my retainer?
Eorzea on our shoulders.
Is that one of my retainers?
5
in the
years
back?
ago, Eorzea bore witness to the end of the 6th astral era.
That's true.
Now, the 7th umbral era draws to a close.
Probably.
Yet we come together not to glory in its end, but to mark a new beginning.
Hey, there we go. Sword. Gun. Oh my gosh. Good thing we didn't fight her.
Let it be writ that on this day, by the light
Uh,
of the
okay.
crystal, Eorzea ushered in a new era.
There we go.
7th astral era is come. And thus is ours a realm reborn.
Oh, okay. There we go. So this is a Realm Reborn. Okay, finally makes sense. So it's about going around and making an Eorzea, free from the threats of darkness and Garland. What is that scale in the background? It looks like Leviathan, maybe. I don't know. Looks like there's a scale in the background. Main development staff, thank you so much, Yoshida. Or no, some people call him Yoshi P. This was just fantastic. The music was really interesting. To be honest, I didn't like the mount riding music. It was a little too upbeat, and I think there were only 2 tracks between that and then your normal adventuring. And, when you're just playing hours and hours into it, it does get a little bit repetitive. The quests were a little bit mundane, I like the ones where you psych the soldiers up, or where there's a direct link between what you were doing and what you were about to do in terms of the storyline. You kind of had to do smaller quests to build people's trust, though, so that makes sense. But it was really like, if you can prove to me that you're the warrior of light, you can, chop down these trees and show how humble you are, And it's, I don't know, it doesn't quite appeal to me. I like this soundtrack, though. The music that just started. Oh, it's beautiful. I know that there's lots of expansions. I've bought Heavensward, Dawnbreaker, or Dawn, whatever, Shadowbringers, Endwalker. So I've bought all the expansions, and I'm excited to go through and play those as well. I'm guessing even after these credits, there's still more Realm Reborn content. This, I'm guessing, is the first release, and then the release of Realm Reborn. And they probably have lots of patches after that with, like, raids. I was disappointed there weren't any full parties. I wanted to fight with 8 people, not just 4, in Realm Reborn. I do know in future patches and expansions, they do have raids that are 8 people, and maybe even bigger. I dabbled a little bit in the PvP, which I know was probably not in the original release of Realm Reborn. Or maybe there was a different version of it. But I'm really excited to continue playing and go on to Heavensward after doing, any of the Realm Reborn extras, like any raids, maybe hard versions. I know they have extreme and savage versions as well of the old content. So, I'll definitely do the hard versions of the duties. The trials. I'll probably do the hard versions of the trials. I'm not sure if you can do extreme yet, or if you have to, go through Heavensward or something. But I'm very excited to continue playing. Heavensward, I think, is up to 60. 70 is Shadowbringers or Dawnbreaker. And then Shadowbringers would be what, till 80? And then till 90 is Endwalker, I think. So, I'm just excited to play and continue the main story. As was mentioned by Heidelin, there's still darkness out there. There's still, there's still some stuff to fight and remove, even if it looks peaceful right now in the Eorzea. I wonder if there's a world outside of the Eorzea. she said down there's a deep, dark core that still needs to be beaten. So I'm excited about that. Oh, this is an interesting song. I hope it's not copyrighted, but I'll check. Well, thank you so much for joining me on this A Realm Reborn. I really started playing it seriously. It took me about 2 weeks to beat. If you played regularly for about 2 weeks, you'll beat it. And thank you to everyone who joined. It was nice to have a pretty large raid on the stream near the end after fighting Ultima Weapon. Ultima Weapon's design is really cool. I like the Ultima Weapon fight the best so far. It felt like it was just constant mechanics. You were constantly moving and there were quick turnarounds. I was really disappointed with Garland fight at the end. Maybe it's because I was a white mage. It seemed to take a long time. Maybe it's because I had mostly healing spells, but I think they give you too long for the duties. They give you an hour to 90 minutes to finish it. And some of those duties can reasonably be beaten much quicker. And I'm wondering if the earlier versions of this game were a lot harder to beat and took a lot longer to beat. Because I can't see how it would take 60 minutes or 90 minutes to beat one fight. I mean, not even a raid takes 60 minutes, I think. Or maybe, I don't know. I'm excited. If I do any raids or trials, I'll post them as well. Maybe I'll have them separate from the stories. Yeah. So, they had an okay message. I'm glad the kingdoms were brought together. It takes an empire. The empire with ultimatums were the real struggle. It wasn't, the primaries were interesting. It was really Magitech. The Darkness still came from humans, and the Ascians. I didn't understand the Ascian Lahabrea was using Phelan, so we might see Lahabrea in the future. Even though we defeated him as Phelan, but who knows, maybe he's a spirit or something, and he'll inhabit someone else, I'm so glad the Scions ended up being okay, though, because, they got raided twice, and I really thought, some people were going to get injured. So this is just wonderful. You can tell that a lot of love was put into the game. It's a very unique story. I loved how they tied a lot of Final Fantasy lore in there, with Wedge and Biggs being soldiers, with Cid with Ultima as magic being at the core of Ultima Weapon. They're bringing in a whole lot of things from other Final Fantasy games that I just really liked, being a fan of the non-online games. So, story is definitely worth it. Look at all these engineers. That's amazing. But yeah, no, it was definitely lots of fun. I would play again, of course. The replay value from the story might be there. I'm not sure. The action was really what carried it. The fighting mechanics were great. The story was okay. There's Biggs and Wedge. They don't explain a lot, and then there's a lot of explaining at the end. And I kind of wish I would have, again, heard about Cid earlier. They focused a lot on his backstory, Alphanod's backstory. I wanted to learn a little more about Myrtolia. And Ishtola is a really interesting character too. So, luckily there's a lot more content, so I don't have to necessarily wait here and wonder if there's more. So, I'm guessing that it'll involve the same cast and crew. Maybe we're going to rid the other darkness that's still out there, even though we did a Realm Reborn. The realm ended up being Eorzea, and it ended up being reborn into light after we got rid of all the darkness around it. there's some environmental overtones. You know, we don't want the environment to be out of balance with Magitech and borrowing other powers, powers of nature. There are a lot of themes about borrowing nature powers to do, you know, machine work. So, you know, it's wonderful themes. It also wasn't overly preachy or anything, so it was a wonderful, wonderful game. Really glad to play Realm Reborn, and I recommend it to everyone, especially because I feel that it's free. You can play this game for free, I guess. And if you just want to play the game up till this, that's fine as well. I don't think they force you to. You know, it's a complete package in and of itself. So you don't feel like you're missing anything. You know, as I was walking around, there were these level 90 characters, but you know, all the content's synced, so I didn't feel under-leveled. In fact, because I had the expansions, I felt a little over-leveled for some of the content when your level wasn't synced. You know, I was level 54, 55. But, you know, your own playstyle will dictate how that plays out. Oh, that's an interesting shot, yeah. Yeah, what a cool world. I like that they made it, and I'm glad I finally got to try it. You know, I've always been nervous because I thought it would take a long time. It didn't take long at all. It takes about 2 weeks of dedicated story focus. You know, I spent a lot of time a year ago just doing side quests and not really doing the main story. So I put down the game for about a year, and I came back, and now it's a blind Let's Play. So thank you so much for joining me for that. Good, we're down into the administrators and finance divisions. You know, I'm actually surprised at how many people worked on it because I heard it was a small team, but. Man, I wonder if they updated this. The future patches. Like, if I go back and I update earlier stuff, I wonder if they changed the credits. They probably do. Okay. Interesting. I am definitely going to recommend this to a few friends I know. If you like RPGs, if you like storytelling, I thought it'd be too difficult. On console, I thought it'd be too difficult, but I played a healer. You know, there's a real skill to playing it, and you know, I felt very comfortable playing through it. It might also be that the people, you know, actually there were sprats that I was teaming up with. I don't think it requires a lot of previous knowledge of the series to play well. Anyway. Information Center representatives. Justin Chan. Brendan He is the lead game master. Interesting. That's cool that they have GMs, like the original GMs. They had 3 GMs looking over it. Wow. I bet they have a lot more GMs now. You know, because the game's grown so much. That's so cool. Yeah. Oh, look at those Adam Toys. Swiner. That's interesting. Fujita. A couple of these. But yeah, this is an imaginative experience. Glad I spent time on it. I'm excited to continue on. I'm not sure how quickly I'll get through Heaven's Sword and the other content, but I'm definitely excited. And just let you know if there's a copyright claim, I'll overlap the audio with some techno music or dance music or something. Got any questions? Alright. Larry Sparks. Interesting. Victor Chua. Vidalt. Cedric Gaspew. Magpal. Pernault. Thomas Pernault. I mean, this is a fantastic cast. It looks like there's representation from all over the world. Zietz, Neubauer, it sounds German. Built Information Technology. Oh my gosh, there are only 3 IT support analysts. I mean, these things have got to change with how big it's grown. I'm sure the team has definitely grown. Craig Ward. Oh, Shanghai, okay. I guess. But anyways, what an interesting game. What a fascinating game. Main theme answers. Nobu Uematsu. I remember him from previous Final Fantasy titles. He's great. Wish I recognized this one. It sounds like 7. Alright. Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of voice actors. That's fantastic. I wonder if I'll recognize any of the English VAs. Look at this beautiful landscape. The environment told so much of the story, but it left you to wonder and fill in the blanks, and I wonder how much of that was on purpose. Did they want you to purposely fill in the blanks yourself, or were they hoping that you would pick up on the details and know exactly what was going on? Because sometimes I didn't know what was going on. It might have been that I moved through the story pretty quick. But I feel like I did enough side quests before I started streaming it that, I don't think I missed anything large. Third-party characters, yes. Assistant producer, yes. Oh, I remember this place. Yeah, that's nice. Uwasawa. Sounds familiar. Alright. Now we have Fuzz Incorporated. 3 people. Just Cause Productions. So, why did you start this company? Just Cause. Here we go. We got animation supervisors, some animators. Only a few animators. That's so impressive. That's just from them, though. From the third party. They might have come in on a particular design ask. But yeah, I would recommend this if you like. It's the MMO aspect of it isn't too daunting. I've I actually made a few friends, even though I wasn't focused on that. I was just trying to play the main story quest, do a lot of solo play, and I ended up chatting to a couple people and adding them to my friends list. So, it's nice to, I guess it does a good job of using the cities as social hubs as well. Whether you're in Lindsay, Luanza, New Gridania, or, Ul'dah, which have their own characteristics and personalities. But, anyways, I'm extremely glad I got a chance to play this. I wonder if there's an achievement for finishing the credits, because this is a lot of people. The voiceover ADL recording engineers. Wow, they spent a lot of time on the sounds, which made perfect sense. Beautifully recorded game. Again, I wish that there were more tracks. I wish that you could choose your track and what if each mount had its own theme? If I'm riding a chocobo versus a behemoth, what if the different mounts, felt differently when walking? There's a lot of ways that they could have improved the music, I think. Just had more variety through a lot of the different settings. The duty music was fantastic, but the exploring music, I really wanted more variety. In the future, I hear that there's different locations that have different music, and that I'm excited to see that. President Minoru Kida. Studio Bokan with Taichi, Sagara, Kanta Arai, Takeda, and Yoshida. Quality assurance leads, excellent. Yeah. Oh, there's the German team to test it. Oh, they had different teams testing it. You know, I bet they probably had a lot more testers for future patches, and you know, I'm glad that they've grown so much, and that they're. I hope they're doing really well. Oh, they're 2017. Simply gone. That one's till 2019. That copyright. So there was a Realm Reborn logo. Happened maybe in 2013, 4 years later. It came back and it was an improved game, I'm guessing. Or maybe Realm Reborn was in 2010. What is going on here? Oh, Meteor survivors. Oh, these are all the people who survived the first iteration of the game and came back. You could sign up probably. That is so interesting. Wow. Let me see if I, oh, there's so many people. What's it, Butterloaf? Okay, that's funny. Keiko. Wow. First New Year survivors. Yes, yeah. Falafel Waffles, that is so funny. Look at these people's names. Wow. Hanzo. Ichiro. Jack, look at all the Jacks. Jack. Maybe there's a recommended name in there. Kai Dragon. This is fantastic. Nix. NYX. Big Nix fan. This is a great way to honor your loyal fans who got the first copy, and no Zeppla. Zeppla ended up joining later, after Heavy Sword's out. Oh, I could have done this the whole time, perhaps. Well, thank you so much for the scene. This by Square Enix company, yeah. So what do we have next? There we go. It's over. The credits rolled. And we're all done, aren't we? I have a feeling that's not the case. So, anyways, Realm Reborn, you know, 8 out of 10. Love the game. Recommend it. Oh no, you got stomachache again. Ah. What is this? No, it's a purple Eidolon. Think, fear, cry. What happened to Heidelin? Yeah, what happened to Heidelin? She's like, nope, Crystal's doing alright.
What is it?
Wait, why did her mouth move? But Manipuri said what is it? I think that was my main issue.
It can't be. Did you hear that?
There's no time to spare.
It's Bahamut.
Where is it coming from?
This is all new to me, but I did hear someone say that Bahamut's the first raid.
Dread tidings, chaos and carnage!
Oh.
It is an abomination! A primal has awakened!
A primal has awakened. What are you talking about? Godzilla? Gojira. So is this like the real Lahabra? What happened to Black Wolf? I think Black Wolf died. I think Gaius is dead. Yeah. Is this another Lahabra? Ooh, this makes the last thing.
Bahamut, move.
Bahamut stirs. Pashtarot.
One Hazaz move star.
Those are long.
Fanza lokpai ki
Yeah, but that's like the Legendary Champion show, yeah. Oh, so they think I'm gonna yield, huh? Alright.
We next starve Chemu.
You draw closer to the reckoning. What are you talking about? What? There's lots of them. Oh no. There's lots of them. The one true god, okay. Is it Bahamut? You see the one true god? I don't know. Zodiark. Zodiark doesn't sound like a good name. And thus did dawn break on a realm reborn. Is that Dawnbreaker? For where there's light, there is always shadow. That's not necessarily true. You could have an extremely bright